Third session and third keynote speaker. We've been talking about green tech. We've been talking about sustainability. We talked about what does it take to become an entrepreneurship. And since money is always pretty important, now we go to the money part. Jakob Steen Jensen, keynote speaker. The topic is investment in clean tech startup. Please give him applause.
Thank you. Thank you. I will try to make a sort of a combination of what Tina and Catherine just talked about. So try to see how can we make a clean tech something where we can make a bit of money from and save the world in the same time. That's sort of the ambition, at least. And I don't know how much you know about seed capital or how much you know about investors. Until you get your fuck off money, as Tina said, you'll need somebody like us, perhaps. So I'll tell you very briefly about who we are, how venture capital as such work, and then go a bit more into why we think that clean tech is a very interesting area to invest in. It will be sort of over a bit like what Catherine talked about, then how we actually invest in clean tech, and then a single slide about what I think you should, or what I think is needed to succeed as a startup. So that should be it. Very briefly, we are a very early stage fund. That means when you're an investor, you can invest when people just have an idea, you can invest on the stock exchange, or you can invest somewhere in between, and there's different levels of risk involved in that. And we go in very early, so very high risk. We have a lot of money. Presently, we have 250 million euros under management, as we say, and right now we have a fund of 70 million euros, which we invest in new companies. And we have around 70 companies. This is not clean tech. We only have 5 or 10 clean tech companies, depending on definition of clean tech, but we invest in all kinds of tech. So that's just about us. So venture capital investors, what we do is we take high risk, and because we take high risk, we want high return, and if we want high return, we have to invest in very, very good ideas, because otherwise you can't make a lot of money. For us, we only invest in new companies. We are partly funded by the Danish government, so we are not allowed to support existing companies. So it has to be a new company. It has to be somebody with a substantial competitive advantage, which means that you have to be able to do something nobody else can do, and they cannot be able to copy you, because otherwise we will prove in the best case that we have a market, but somebody else will run away with the market afterwards. And what we do is we come with some money, we get some shares. If everything goes well, everybody becomes rich. If it doesn't go well, we lose our money and you don't owe us anything afterwards. And what we're trying to achieve is, in the end, do as Tina did, start a company, sell it again, become rich, or at least make more money than you did when you invested, and then try another one again and again. Or get to a stock exchange, an IPO. That's another way to get out of the, because we want of course to get our money back again, so we can invest them in new companies as well. Oops. So what we do is, if you have this good idea in the clean tech space or in any other category, is you have to have something that which everybody really, or a lot of people really, really needs, but they are willing to pay for. So you have to have something which is need to have and not nice to have. You have to have a huge market, and you have to have the people who has the capabilities needed to get this product into the market, or who are aware that they do not have the capabilities and are willing to get the capabilities inside the company. And you need to know, this is the business model, you need to know how are you actually going to make money. You can make money on taking a patent and selling, getting royalties, you can sell a product, you can make consultancy, you can make a lot of different models. You need to know how you will do that. And finally, if you want to talk to people like us, it would be really great if you can tell us who's going to buy your company afterwards, so we all can make a lot of money on it. And this is just to say how much are we actually looking at. We are looking at 2 new ideas every day, and we invest in one every month, one or two every month, and out of those we will take only one in every quarter into our next round. So that's sort of the road you have to go down, and if we look at the statistics, it will be a success in perhaps one every year, one investment every year. So we look at 500 or 1,000 opportunities, and one of them will actually become a success to the extent that we want. Some of them do become successes, but not that big. And why don't they do that? That's because this is really difficult. This is when we talk to entrepreneurs, they always tell us our idea is a bit better than all the others. It's more safe, we are closer to the market, we will make more money. But the thing is, there are so many things that you can't foresee when you start a new company. And this is just some of the main things. And even in the best case, we will know with 80% certainty that the team is right, the market will buy it. But we never know, will somebody else come in with a better product? Will the inventor find something else to do? A lot of things can happen, and if you combine all of these probabilities, you get down to a very low probability. And this is why it's difficult to make money in this market, and this is why everybody needs it to be a big market, so when you succeed, you actually have a really, really big success. So, in the clean tech space, we sort of say there are 3 mega trends driving this market. And that's the growing world population, it's higher living standards, and the people moving from land to cities. And what that does is you will have these huge water resource uses and energy uses, and we consume so much. And it's just going, as Catherine showed, it's just going through the roof. So we use a lot of resources, and that gives us a lot of problems, because when there's fewer resources, the prices will go up. The resources we can't get anymore, and we will also destroy a lot of things. And in the investment community, a problem is always an opportunity to make money. So, so you need to be able to sort of avoid some of these things. So you have the increasing resources prices. You have in the lack of availability. This is just an example from I think it's called the Ogallala water aquifer. So this is where the U.S. gets all of its water for growing its crops. And as I've read, they are taking 1.5 meters out of this water level every year, and only regaining 15 centimeters or something like that. So a lot of water is disappearing there, and it will run out within the next, 50 years or so. We have the CO2 emissions, we have all the waste and all the pollution. You have people not being able to live in the cities anymore. You can't breathe when you're in Beijing, you can't breathe when you're in Mexico City. And the amount of waste that we all create is enormous, and it's just increasing and increasing and increasing. The grotesque examples of what we are doing in order to get oil, spending 5 barrels of water and 100 cubic meters of natural gas to get 1 barrel of oil when you get it from tar sand in Canada. Stuff like that. Even worse things happening in China, where they try to do the same things. So these are all these problems, and if you have any solutions that can solve or just mitigate some of these problems, it's really interesting. It's really interesting for the world, and it's interesting for us as investors if you can do it in the right way. And we're not the only one who have seen this. This is what's happening in clean tech or in venture capital. The amount of investments going into the clean tech space is just increasing and increasing. And there's a lot of different areas you can go into. You have this is mostly to show you that sometimes things get into fashion, also in venture capital. So sometimes solar is really hot. Bioethanol can be really hot. and then some investors lose a lot of money in bioethanol, and then suddenly it's not hot anymore, and the money runs somewhere else. So there's a lot of different things, but this is also to show you that clean tech is just, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of different industries, it's a lot of different technologies. So what we do is, we are trying to say, we only have when we invest in a new company, we invest 2 million Danish kroner, 250,000 euros, something like that, and we can invest up to 7 or 8 million euros. So we can't build a bioethanol plant, or a wave dragon energy machine, or we can't make new 10 megawatt wind turbines. But what we can do is, we can go in and we can optimize on some of it. And this is actually an example from a company you will hear about just afterwards, but it's our latest investments, and we are very hopeful about it. This is just to give you an idea of what can you actually do. What it is it's an anemometer, so it's, what you do is you measure wind, speed of wind and direction of wind. And what you see on the top right is how it's measured today, because this wind measure is sitting on the top of the wind turbine, so it sits behind the blades, it gets turbulent, so it can't really predict or tell you where the wind is precisely coming from. So the turbine will always be a little bit off guard, which will increase maintenance cost, and it will decrease the amount of energy you actually produce. And furthermore, you can only get the wind which has actually hit the turbine. So what could be really interesting is if you could get the other one, which is in the bottom, which you can get with this aggregate here, which is $125,000 US anemometer, which measures the wind 100 meters or so in front of the wind turbine and says, okay, in 10 seconds, the wind will have this speed and this direction. And now we invested in this Windar Photonics, it's called. They can do exactly the same at 1/10 of the price. This will increase the power produced by the wind turbines with 10%, and it will decrease operation and maintenance costs with 10%. This is really, really a lot. We hope, if it all works. It seems so. There's so many things in energy efficiency. This is just a lot of areas. If you look at the left side, it's actually areas where you will gain money from saving CO2 emissions. On the right side, it's more difficult. And any place where you can get people to actually then do this, because one of the simplest way of saving CO2 is to insulate your buildings, and people don't really do it anyway. So you need something that makes people do it. And we're looking in all of these areas. We have companies in pollution control, that's Aminex. We have companies in solar, in wind, and so forth. We have it in materials. This is the world champion in clean tech. They won last year in Silicon Valley, based out of DTU and Copenhagen Business School. They make concrete where they save 50% of the CO2 which is emitted from construction today. If you put that on a global scale, you will save twice the amount of CO2 that the airline industry emits globally. And at the same time, they'll save 30% of costs. So this is really, you can make a really, really big difference by changing the materials a little bit. And this is actually not even changing the materials, it's just putting existing materials together in a new way. We would very much like to see something within retreating. So if you can get these precious metals or rare earth materials and all these kind of things, if you can find a way to get it back, so you're not running out of tantalum or whatever, all kinds of materials which are put into our flat screens. If you can find a way to get that back profitably, it would be really interesting. And pollution control as well. This is for diesel engines. Also a DTU-based company. So that's basically it. Just one last slide. If you want to have success in this, actually it should say execute, which is in the bottom. It should say that on the top, and on the next line, and on the next line, and the next line. So just do like Tina says, do it. But But I think that if you're in the clean tech space, you need more than just do it. You really actually need to be a very, very good engineer or whatever. You need to have something which differentiates you a lot. You have to have a product, a real product. And then what should you do? You should always go out and talk to your customers. This is just to, if you want to have success, you have your good idea, and before you start wasting or using a lot of your next years of your life trying to get this idea into real life, go out and talk to your customers, the guys that you think you're going to buy this in 2 or 3 years, and ask them, if I come out to you with a product like this, would that be interesting? And then they will tell you, it could be, but it has to be able to do like this as well, it has to be certified like that, you have to be able to deliver in these qualities and these quantities, and otherwise we won't buy it. It's always good to know upfront what's actually going to hit you once you have your product. Have to have a good team, and as things evolve, if you go with people like us who wants to take your company global, you have to want to keep building the team, because the people who can sell the first 3 products are not always the guys who can sell the next 3 million products or so. And then get sufficient funding. Because otherwise you're going to spend all of your time running around trying to get funding and not selling or building your product. That's it. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jakob. Okay, so now if there are any questions, we can take them. We have some free. Yeah, there is one over there.
Yeah, I have one question. Recently we have a meeting with Venture Cup, and they were told us that in case if your idea or a startup will win at the Venture Cup, there will be a possibility to get funding, for example, from Seed Capital, which is also a partner of Venture Cup. But you didn't mention it in the lines, how do you find companies where you invest in? Do you have any recent examples or...
Of where we actually find the companies?
Yes, not exactly from Venture Cup. Did you ever invest in a company which has won or, in Venture Cup competition?
I've invested in, I've been the prime, the guy leading the investment in 2 companies that actually afterwards won the Venture Cup. but I mean, we are everywhere trying to find new companies to invest in, and Venture Cup is a very, very good place to go because you learn how to pitch, which is really important. So you tell me and other investors what we are interested in hearing, and not going too much in details with things that we don't want to hear at that point. So Venture Cup is really, really good at helping you how to do that. Likewise, if you go to Connect Denmark and other similar places, and we work together with all of these. It's difficult to pitch your idea. So.
Okay, we have time for a second question, if there is any. Yes, we have one there. Yes. Wait, just a second for the microphone. He's coming.
I have a good voice. Yeah, it's. I think in the past 2 years there has been some questioning about the green bubble and the green technology, and actually there's been like declining in the investment and also the stocks of the green companies. So, what do you think this technology is going?
I think that. First of all, unfortunately, this is not going to be a bubble because there's a really, really huge need and it's just growing and growing. But of course, if it's not going to be a bubble, then everybody will be running there, and then sometimes you will have a bubble because everybody says, oh, this is the new thing. And so when everybody starts to run at solar at the same time, prices will go up, and they go in too early, and they lose all of their money, and they say we'll never go there again. And so you have, I mean, it's a learning process. Yeah.
So you think it will maintain like steady growth?
I can't see that it shouldn't. I can't see why it shouldn't maintain this growth. And also, if I just say, okay, we have a company like Winda, which can improve the energy efficiency with 10% on a solar cell. We have a company like Abeo that can reduce CO2 and costs significantly on any new constructions. And if we just, and they are out of the DTU space, so to speak. If companies like that comes out of here, there has to be, I mean, this is not the center of the world, so there has to be lots of technologies out there, and there are so many problems that you can solve. So, yeah, so I'll just...
Can we ensure that there's no green bubble out there?
Of course, there's always a bubble, but I mean, it's not going to go away. Green is not going to go away. Somebody's going to lose money because they're going the wrong places in green, but it's not going to go away.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jakob, and give him another big applause. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we can get ready for the third pitch session. So please come on stage, Danish Power System, Share Leaf, and Windar Photonics. Can take just 2 seconds to start everything up again. So, pitches, third, so Danish Power System. Okay, we are ready to go. Okay, so first pitch, Danish Power System. You have 3 minutes. The stage is yours. Yes, 3 minutes. Cool.
Thank you. How's the sound? Is it okay? Very good. Okay. If I sound a little bit rusty, it's because we had a little reason to celebrate, and we had the Christmas party last night. So if I sound rusty, I am rusty. Right. Well, what we want to do is we want to produce very, very efficient energy with the fuel cells. And we do that with, among others, renewable fuels. There's a lot of issues in this world. We've been talking about them today already. There are some local, short-term issues. There are some national, medium-term issues, and there are some long-term global issues. There are some reasons behind this. You probably know most of them. We have, for a large part, old technology. We have issues with the supply of fossil fuels, and we have growth in the population. And there are some significant effects following these issues. We have air pollution, which is very expensive and is very damaging for health and society. There are strategic issues with energy supply. Countries, they need to be able to have energy for their economies to grow, and everyone wants growth in their economy. And also, we have issues with the CO2, which is causing, what we heard earlier, more extreme weather and all other unforeseeable consequences. So there are a number of different solutions. There's also some that I haven't mentioned here. And we said earlier, the solutions need to be multiple. It's not one technology that's going to solve all the problems. There's going to be multiple solutions. One of those solutions could be fuel cells, or we expect to be fuel cells. Other people expect it to be fuel cells that take part of this. What we do is something very, very complicated. We produce something called an MEA, which is basically an active membrane and 2 electrodes. And from that, you can have hydrogen and oxygen react, and you get electricity. It is very, very efficient, and we can do it from pure hydrogen, and we can do it from, for example, methanol or liquefied gas on bottles. Depending on what application the fuel cells should be used, there are different reasons to use different types of fuels. We have the first potential markets will be the high-end camping market. When people buy their vans and their boats, they will very much like to have an extended operation radius for their leisure time. Batteries can solve some of it, diesel generators can solve some of it, but they both have some negative offsets which we can solve with the fuel cell technology. People that have bought a very expensive boat, they very much like to get rid of the noise and the vibration from the diesel generators which they have on board. This is not for propelling, this is for onboard power, for example for heat or for what's it called, air conditioning. What we can offer is to do exam projects with students. We can do or work together for diploma projects or internships We have had several of these already, and we are very happy to continue to do that ongoing. So if any of you think this might be interested and you feel you have the right abilities and the right background, we are always happy to hear from you.
I think it's it.
Yes, but this is my last slide, so
Okay,
yes.
that's it?
Right.
Okay, great. Thank you. Just take the microphone. I can start up the presentation for you. You have it on the internet side. Okay. Second startup, ShareLeaf. You have 3 minutes. The stage is yours.
Hi everybody, I'm Michael Moncur, I'm from Watercooler. Now I'm here to tell you a bit about our two carpooling solutions, ShareLeaf, which is a corporate carpooling solution, and Duckseat, which is a carpooling solution for events. We are 3 guys in Watercooler. We're Martin, Elias and I, and we have each our area of expertise. They get to get the picture in the newspapers, I get to work on Saturdays. What we were created a year ago, and by accident we went into the carpooling industry, and if we'd known how many others have tried this area, we probably would have been a bit more comprehensive by choosing this. The reason why we went into it was that before we created ShareLeaf, we found out that a lot of companies actually have a lot of costs when employees are taking their car to a meeting or seminar, or the cab to the airport. So, for instance, Nordea, they use 80 million kroners a year just in mileage allowance and cab fares for the employees in the workhouse. We created this module which Novozymes are going to use from now on, from next week, which is a very easy way to show your colleagues when you're going to the airport, when you're going to the other facilities and so on. The advantages, of course, reduced CO2, reduced costs, and it's a new way of socializing with your colleagues. And because we had this back end, we thought, why not use it for something else? Because all the other carpooling solutions, they do things quite similar. So we thought, why not do it as simple as possible? I don't know if you know Doodle, the way where you create a calendar event. We thought, why not use the logic of that? So whenever a person has an event, that could be a football match, a concert, a wedding, private wedding, it could be anything, festivals. They go into Duckseat.com and they create their own event just by typing the name and the address and the time, and then they get their own unique URL, just as in Doodle. They can distribute to the participants. In that way you can find out that Uncle Hans, Uncle John, he's going to the wedding and he can actually pick you up on the way. So those were the two things. ShareLeaf is the one that's going best right now, so that's the one we're focusing on. Yeah, and that's it.
Thank you so much. Okay, we can move on to Winder Photonics. One second. Just clicking. Okay. We are sorry for the yellowish thing. We don't know what's wrong, but I hope we can keep going with this yellowish thing. Okay, let's start with the last pitch. So, Winder Photonics, 3 minutes, the stage is yours.
Thank you a lot. My name is Christian Petersen, and I'm working at DTU Photonic. And today I'm going to give the talk on behalf of the Managing Director, Jørgen Korsgaard, who's actually the founder of Winder Photonics. He was unable to be here today. What we are going to do in the coming months is actually to produce a new prototype of a wind sensor, low-cost wind sensor, which should be situated on top of the nacelle of existing wind turbines, future wind turbines, and actually give information both about the wind speed but also the wind direction in a much more accurate way than can actually be done with existing standard sensors. So this is really what we want to do. And the way we want to do it is by measuring in a zone which is not corrupted by the turbulence of the wind turbine blades. So we measure actually the wind speed, in this case about 80 meters in front of the wind turbine, mid-air. And at this distance you have no more turbulence. Therefore we can get the better performance of our instruments. But let me just go briefly through the history. Winter Photonics was actually formed in 2008, but before that there was actually 3 years of research between its mother company, Opti Technology, which is privately owned, and DTU Photonics. So it took a lot of effort to come to the stage where we could actually form the company. For the last year or so, we have done extensive field tests, and we expect, as I told you, to have the first prototypes out next spring. So this is going to be very exciting. The company is owned privately and by seed capital as well as DTU. Okay, let me go on. What we can do is basically at a distance of 80 meters, measure wind speed and direction, and the instrument you are actually looking at to the left. The fundamental technology that we use is a diode laser, very cheap diode lasers, which are really an order of magnitude or more cheap than conventional fiber lasers used. So we are really having a competitive edge due to the very low cost approach we have. This allows us to have a vision that we can really install these sensors on each wind turbine to individually optimize the wind energy harvesting, particularly through what is called yaw control, the direction of the wind turbine, but also to pitch of the wind turbine blades, and also through a reduced wear. So this is very exciting. Just to give you a little bit of evidence that this is really so.
Sorry, you can sum it up in 15 seconds?
Yes, I'll just show you this one. Then here you see one of the first examples where wind turbine has been optimized using LiDARs, more precise LiDAR wind sensors when compared to standard sensors. So we really hope that this is something that we're going to take off in the coming years. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. So, just 1 second. Okay, we are approaching the end of the keynote speaking and of the startups. We would like you guys to give an overview of what actually Venture Cup can do for you, for your ideas. How can they help you to bring them and push them into the real market? And that's here, Soren, Mikkel Sorensen, my apologies, to tell you that. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I must say I'm very excited to be here today. I think we've witnessed some very inspiring keynote speakers and some very cool startups, some great pitching. And as Daria said, my name is Mikkel, not Soren Mikkelsen, but Mikkel Sorensen. And I'm here to tell you a bit about Venture Cup, what we do and what we can do for you. So basically, Venture Cup is a non-profit organization helping young entrepreneurs making their ideas happen. In Venture Cup, we believe there's a huge talent pool among the universities in Denmark. And in the modern society, where knowledge seems to be the main competitive capacity, it seems quite logical to us to be looking at universities in the search for the ideas and the startups of tomorrow. Of course, we're quite aware that not all the ideas that come our way, all your ideas, will make the transition into a startup. But what we do believe is that some of these ideas will become startups, that will become companies of the future, and that's what will create jobs and growth And that's basically what we're here for. We've witnessed how creativity is very much alive, how ideas are occurring at universities. But we have also experienced how a helping hand can do a huge difference in making these ideas happen. So that's what we're trying to help with. And we do that in different ways. For instance, we got access to a great advisor board. We have 40-something advisors related to Venture Cup, some great people from different businesses, and they can advise teams on different aspects, mentoring their business. We do workshops, we do pitch training workshops, as Jakob told us. We also do business plan writing camps and so forth. We also provide quite a strong network. We have a network to some big organizations, some big companies, Novo and Avapatent and so on, Seed Capital. We also have a network of investors. And very important actually, we are located at the Copenhagen School of Entrepreneurship. And there is, I think, 60-something young people who's doing startups sitting just outside our door. So there's a great entrepreneurial community just outside our office, actually. Very central to what we do are our 2 annual competitions. We have a startup competition in the spring, which is about submitting a business plan, basically. You can win 250,000 kroners if you're really good. And we have an idea competition, which is coming up very soon, which is basically just about describing a great business idea. Well, how are we able to do all this for free? Due to our sponsors and our friends. All the universities pay a membership, and we have some sponsors which, besides from funding, also provide us with some very essential knowledge, being part of our jury, being part of our advisory boards, and so on. So, I'm going to tell you a bit about the idea competition, because I think a lot of you guys could be interested in this. I hope so, anyway. As I said, it's basically just about describing a business idea. And you can actually choose how you want to describe it. You can just do it in 2 to 3 pages. Of course, we need to know a bit about what is your idea, what is the customer pain that Jakob was talking about, and what is the pain reliever, the painkiller. So the problem that people are facing and how you want to solve it, the essential of the idea. Then we need to know a bit about who are you. Are you a team? Is it just one person with a good idea, or is it a whole team? What are your competences within that team? And do you lack any competences to make this idea happen? So that's quite all right, but we need to know that you're aware of this part. And of course, the market. Who would pay for your idea? That could include a customer profile, like not a market analysis, because it's quite a short executive summary that you're doing, but still thoughts on the market. How is the market looking? Is it growing? Who are your main competitors? And thoughts on these matters. All that submit an idea will get evaluation and feedback from our very competent jury. We have right now 110 jury members from different businesses, also including serial entrepreneurs and investors. And of course, there's some money. If you win one of our 5 categories, you'll get 25,000 kroners, which is also nice. We have 5 categories, and luckily enough, we have a clean tech and environment category, which seems quite suitable for the day. We also have life science and medtech, mobile and web, people and society, which also include things like social entrepreneurship and the product and technology. I'm just going to show you a few examples. These 2 girls with a very catchy name, Buggy Ozone, came up with an idea for a compound which enclosed ozone molecules, which can protect from 99.9% of UV radiation. Of course, protect against skin cancer, but also in painting, protecting products. They actually were in the idea competition and just submitted these 2 to 3 pages, and now they got 2.6 million kroners in funding in pursuing this idea. These two guys are from CBS. They came up with a quite basic idea, actually, I think, for a search engine searching for icons. So designers and web developers could compare prices and quality of icons on the web. One of your own guys, Black Silicon Solar, they're now called. Rasmus here just was in Silicon Valley this Thursday, I think, participating in the World Championship of Clean Tech. He won the startup competition last year. He had an idea for nanostructured coating for solar cells, which improves the absorption of sunlight, and thereby the energy efficiency. Yeah, they're doing quite well right now. So just to sum it up briefly, why should you guys participate? We have the network, which is quite essential when starting up. So we can provide a network to both professionals and other young startups. You get feedback. We have our advisors, the mentors, but also from the jury. Every person participating gets feedback from at least 3 jury members. And of course, you can use us, come up to our office, present your ideas, get feedback. And again, the money, of course, very important. So it's just about write a summary, 2 to 3 pages about a business idea, and upload it latest November 28th on venturecup.dk. More details to be found there, of course. And I know that a lot of you guys are here also for networking, so I would like to invite you for our next event at the Copenhagen School of Entrepreneurship. We have these networking Friday bars where people go looking for people with specific skills, competencies. That might be a web developer, business analyst, or whatever. So a lot of people being interested in entrepreneurship show up here. And of course, there are some beers and snacks, so you can just come and hang out and meet other people, might be looking for your future partner. And this is my information, and you are all very welcome to contact me. Of course, you can give me a call, but instead of doing all the questions right here, I think we should go, because I read the schedule of the day, and I know that there's beer coming up now, so I won't be holding you here anymore. But I'll go down there, have a beer, and you can all come and ask all your questions down there. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Mikkel. Thank you. Just go to Matthias. Okay, so we are pretty much done with all the talking today. What we are moving to now, it's called creative networking. So we thought about 3 main different ideas for you guys to mingle, to get attention on your ideas and try to team up with different guys around you. So the three key creative suggestions are the following. First of all, we have the challenges on the walls. So each startup has a challenge, which is the one that they are facing at the moment. You can go there, you can talk to them, you can give feedbacks, and they can, of course, give feedbacks to you and maybe an internship. Second thing, we have 2 walls, 2 white walls right there. Yeah, there's Pierre showing them to them, yes. So one of them is for skill matching. So you can post, guys, what are the skills that you are needed, and if you wanna offer your own skills, you can also do that. Please write your name, write your email, write your phone number, everything you can add about yourself. And in the other one, we have team building. So if you guys don't have a team, but you have a cool idea, that's the wall where you can go to. Okay? So that's what's going to happen in 10 minutes. What we are going to do now is going to select the winners of the Better Place test drive. So this is going to be quite of a dynamic thing. So I'm going to ask you guys to pick a number, and this number is of course connected to a name, and that name he's gonna win the test drive. So I start just going around. 1. Number? Open it and just say the number. Okay, I can say the number. 12. 12. Name 12. Who is the lucky one?
Sophie Bjerregaard.
We have Sophia. We have Sophia. Sophia. Not Sophia. Okay, next one. Number 36. 36.
6. Anastasia Yarkovich.
Okay.
Anastasia?
Okay, she's there. Do you have the driving license? No.
I do, but I
So you don't have it with you? No. Okay. So she can take it, right? Yeah. That's fine, but we cannot do it. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. We can. Okay. Third one. I'm sorry. $35.
35. Pavan Elisa.
Once again.
Pavan Elisa.
Okay. Yes. Do you have the driving license? Okay. Great. Cool. Okay. 1. Okay. You can stand up. Yes. Okay. Let's keep going. 1. Let me see. 9. Number 9. Eimantas, number 9.
Number 9. Karma Tschering.
Where is you are?
I don't have the license here.
You don't have the driving license. Too bad. I'm sorry. Next one again. Here, 1.
21.
21.
Giorgio Demurtas.
Giorgio.
Giorgio
Okay. Do we have Giorgio de Murtas? No, we don't. Okay, we keep going. 1 again.
Me.
47.
Kai Heusen.
Kai. Where is Kai? We have Kai. Does he have the driving license? Because I know the guy. Kai, where is Kai? Okay, wait a minute because I know the guy. Is he here? Not at this moment. Okay, we keep going, guys. Okay, 1 again. 37.
Stefan Katalin Feshu.
Do you have, okay, do you have the driving license? Say yes. No. Okay. I think I'm gonna take the test drive. Okay, once again. 27.
Alessandro Pensini.
Alessandro. Okay, do you have the driving license? Okay, great. We have the second one.
Alessandro, please come.
Okay. So you can go there right now so that you can get ready. Okay. Third one. And last. 19.
Camilla Inessa Nilsson.
Camilla is she? Okay. Do you have the driving license? Very good. Okay, we have the third one. Woo! You can also go there. Okay, guys. So 1 second. So we are pretty much done, as I said, with the talking. So now there's going to be creative networking. That's what I've just said. So you guys can go there. Another important thing, guys, sorry, 1 second. We have to move the chairs. So please take your bags and your clothes with you because we have to put up the tables for the dinner that is going to come later on. And don't forget that we have beers right there. Thank you so much and see you later.